Hello and welcome to Let's Get Prepared. I'm Catherine and today we're going to talk about making an emergency plan. First of all, why would we want to make an emergency plan? Well, as we all know, in times of stress, our body does some cool things. Our brain sends a message to various parts of our body, to various systems. Adrenaline and cortisol start coursing through us. Our heart starts pounding and our breath gets shallow. And this is the classic fight or flight or freeze response. You've all heard of that. This is great if we need to fight or flee or freeze, but it's not so good if we need to be thinking calmly and remembering and making a plan. So the idea is we need to make a plan before we're in a stressful situation, and an emergency would be considered a stressful situation. So today we're going to talk about making an emergency plan, but I just want to say this is also an area of emergency preparedness where I think some people, they're all excited about getting prepared, and then they get here and they go, oh no, it's too much, it's too overwhelming, because there's lots of different kinds of emergencies, and what you do for one emergency to prepare and to make a plan is different than what you do for another emergency. And so they feel stressed and they freeze and they don't make any plan, which is a mistake. So today we're going to talk about one kind of plan, an evacuation plan. So imagine you're going about your day and your phone buzzes, and you get it out because you've learned to be informed and you need to pay attention to emergency alerts, and the alert is red, which you know means it's a critical alert, so you pay double attention. And it says, I'm just making this up, there's an incident north of here. 3 semi-trailers have collided and 2 of them are leaking whatever they were carrying, and it's mixing together and causing a poisonous gas that's going into the air. And based on wind currents and temperature and whatever time they think it's going to be here to our town in 2 hours. And there's already been fatalities. This is the real thing, and we need to leave. And they're giving us an hour or less to get out of town. So, what do? Well, you don't panic because you've already made a plan. You take a deep breath and you say, I got this, I've thought about this, I know what I need to do. And then you go and you get the plan that you've written down and you start going through it. Now we're going to talk next time on the next video about specific things that are on that list. That's your homework for this week. I'd like you to walk around your house and try to make a list. What would you bring if you needed to leave, if you needed to evacuate? Now there's 3 things to keep in mind. Survival, comfort, and sentimental. Now, depending on the emergency, in the scenario that I just gave, it might be that you have to leave your home for a couple of days until the poisonous gas is dissipated into the atmosphere. There's not going to be any damage to your home, and you'll be able to return back in a few days. So what you would need for an evacuation like that is probably just some comfort items. Extra change of clothes, your cell phone, a book, some games, whatever, things to keep occupied, things to be able to communicate with others. You need your medication, of course, things like that. If it was a widespread emergency and you know that you need to leave, but you don't really know where you're going and you don't know where it's safe and everybody's leaving, you might need survival gear. You might need all your camping equipment. You might need to bring as much food and water as you can in your tent and things like that. If it was a forest fire or a flood or something coming your way, then you might not have a home to come home to, which is tragic. And that's when you need to start thinking about, do I need to bring my journals and photo albums and my grandmother's wedding dress or those kinds of things. So keep these things in mind. It's better to have all of them on your list, and then in a time of emergency, you can just say, oh, no, I don't need that. Oh, I don't need that. I do need this. It's easier to cross things off rather than try to think and add them in a moment of crisis. So I hope you'll go around your house, make a list, and meet back with me here next time, and we'll talk about specific things that we can put on our list. And I'll see you next time on Let's Get Prepared.